general question. What is music to you, sir? And
what is what?
Music to you. How would you describe music? What is it to you? I know. And another question, if I may. How do you find inspiration, and what you use as your tuning fork to get to that place where you know that expression is right for you?
Those are all big questions. What is music to me? I'm really not a airy-fairy kind of new age person, but I would say that, as I get older, and I have a lot of my friends are getting older, and some of them are older than me, and they're getting old. And they start saying things to me like, love is what it's all about. That life, if you talk about life, love is everything. And I think that once you get to a certain point in one's life, hopefully you start to come to that conclusion, because I think it makes your life more fulfilling and richer. And I would have to say that to me, music is the equivalent of love. Whatever that energy is that is all-encompassing and totally mysterious, and you can't see it, it still mystifies me, and I feel very humbled by it. So that sounds like a totally non-technical answer, and it is, but I don't know how else to say it. Where do I find my inspiration? All over the place. In some ways, this engagement for me today is inspirational. To talk, to connect with my audience is very meaningful to me. It's why I'm doing the tour, because I've always been kind of a hermit, and I've stayed in my studio and just writing movie after movie after movie, and never considering the fact that people were out there actually listening to it. That they just go to the movies and they go home and they go to work, but a lot of people evidently have been paying attention to it and listening to it. So I get inspiration from thinking about the people who are going to listen to it. I get inspiration from a great actor, from talking with an inspired director, from missing my children, arguing with my wife. Everything that happens in life, it creates some kind of energy within us, and I think that somehow or another that comes out of me in a musical way. But there's a saying, and I'm sure you all know the same saying, that creative work is 10% inspiration and 90% perspiration. And that's really true. The original, initial spark, the idea, as you saw there, which was 43 versions over 7 months, that was mostly perspiration. And then, bless you, and then at the end, the very end, I guess you could call that inspiration, some other idea came. And I don't question where it comes from or what it is, but I'll take inspiration from wherever I can get it. And as far as my tuning fork, I would say, you just know when you know. I knew that I didn't have it until that last thing. And if you play that last thing by itself on the piano, it's not nearly as interesting as all the other themes. It's just a little ostinato thing. But when you put it up to picture and you orchestrate it properly, it has a grandiosity and a excitement about it that none of the others had. So I don't know how to say that I know what I know, other than I know.
Any other question? Oh, yes, please. There's a microphone coming for you.
I'm a freelance journalist. Do you consider yourself a perfectionist? Because I heard a lot of artists in the field, they like to say, I'm a perfectionist. And sort of it sounds like it's not so easy for you to become satisfied with yourself, actually. Did you have a lot of frustrations during the process? And also the last one is, when do you feel you are big, you are famous? When did you feel that? Thank you.
Well, one thing I neglected